You're watching a TGM production. Hello, welcome back to the web series Take Two, the Film Club. This is the web series where I review films. Yeah, Take Two was a podcast I used to run, now been archived and turned into Take Two, the Film Club. Will there be a spin-off of this called Take Two, the TV Club? Probably. Whether or not it'll be called TV Club, I don't know. Today we're talking about the 11-time BAFTA-nominated film, The Ballad of Wallis Island, written by Tim Key and Tom Baston. Yes, 11-time nominated for a film BAFTA. English film BAFTA, not a Scottish BAFTA, not a Welsh BAFTA, an English BAFTA. On Thursday, no less. On Friday, it was added to Sky Cinema, but I didn't find it until Friday night. So, as in late Friday night, to a point where I couldn't watch it then. I watched it yesterday, Saturday, the 17th of January, 2026. Now, The Ballad of Wallis Island, by its reviews on the One Show, the podcast Dish, it says to me that it was a wonderful, gentle, emotional, and just awe-inspiring film. I, Tom Mason, watched it yesterday, and there was the One Show and the podcast Dish correct. Were they correct? Were they correct? Well, the answer to that is yes, they were. The Ballad of Wallis Island was an excellent film. It had all the great things you need in a good film, and it had stuff in it that everyone wants to know. But it had music by Tom Baston. Who'd have thought he could sing? Yeah, that was a question. It's a question I had. Whilst I tried to say the words there in a singing fashion, because there was a lot of singing in this film. I didn't know Tom Baston could sing that well. Tom Baston, I'm going to say Pippa Evans, and I'm going to say Peter Kay were the three people. Yes, Peter Kay knows he can sing. Does Pippa Evans knows she can sing? That well, don't know. And does Tom Baston does know because he did this film. What I'm taking from these three people is they all need their own separate albums. Tom Baston, albums of songs from Ballad of Wallis Island, plus ones that didn't make it into the film that he's going to sing anyway. Pippa Evans should just do her best bits of Sorry I Haven't a Clue. And Peter Kay obviously had his animated one, but we need a more rounder version, if that makes any sense at all. We need the other ones. But I think he did do that. I think Peter Kay is one of those people that did release his music. But I think that what makes The Ballad of Wallis Island such a amazing, excellent, glorious film, in my opinion, was the fact that it had everything you wanted from a great film. It had all the landmarks that coincide to make a film great, and it had all the things. So let's stop beating around the bush and talk more about it in a general term. So The Ballad of Wallis Island is about a man called Tim Key. Well, not called Tim Key. I can't remember what his character name is. Now, this is a disclaimer, now that we've come to this far in the review. I'm going to mention a few people by their real names, because I don't know their characters' names. Because I'm one of those people that if you have a long-running series, then yes, I'll know your name. But if you have a character that's in it, film characters, I don't necessarily remember the names as well, which for me is rather annoying, because I would love to remember names of people in this world. But sadly, that isn't the case, and I don't think it ever will be the case. So in the Ballad of Wallis Island, it's about Tim Key's character who lives on this island. Do I know where the island is? No, I don't. But it's a remote village where nothing much occurs. He's a massive fan of this folk duo from back in today, and he brings them over to do a gig. Now, the gig itself is a one-man show, so it's the band, which is Tom Balson and the female compadre. I do apologise, I can't remember her name. They get to perform, but to one man, and that one man is Tim Key. Tim Key plays this obsessive fan. When I say obsessive, I mean he knows all the albums, he has all the... He's playing them all the time, he's been to all the concerts, all the gigs. It's getting a little bit creepy. And that's the premise of the film. He's not a creepy man, but from an outsider's point of view, that would be creepy. But really, when you look at it in a better sense, it's not creepy at all. It's just him being him. And I think that what the film represents to me is that if you have an emotional connection to something, you need to express that feeling to go, well, that's why I'm like this. Because I need to express that I'm feeling this way because of this thing. So Tom Basson's character is holding the past of a past love who he performed with, who is now with a new love who's get brought along, and you sort of get the feeling that there's tension there. And that's what's good about this film, is that the tension isn't false. There is bits that are generally quite funny where the boatman can't read his own handwriting, and neither can Tim Key or Tom Balson, so trying to find out when the next boats come in is a tricky thing. And I think that represents that this film contains humour as well as everything else it contains. So it contains humour, sadness, elation, drama, and just a sense of music. So the music in this film is second to none, right? It's excellent, it's amazing, and it's worthy of every award it's gonna get. 11 nominated for 11 BAFTAs. Right, might not win all 11, but might win 9 out of 11, right? I don't know the categories that it's in, so I couldn't tell you that for definite, but I've got a good feeling it's going to win BAFTA because it's highly praised. It represents that there's still room in this industry for your British film. So yesterday, Fisherman's Friend and the sequel were filmed, in my opinion, that were captivating, were brilliant, were amazing, were lovely, were wonderful, but weren't weren't well received for anyone else. And I think this gives me that same feeling of those films, but for this, the Ballad of Wallis Island actually represents the industry isn't to this film as much as I am. I think that Tim Key does an excellent job in this film. This is my first time ever watching The Ballad of Wallis Island, because I never saw the short film, nor since I found out about the short film I've been able to find it anywhere available to view. So hopefully one day I'll get to watch it and I'll be able to compare the two of what was the better, the short film or the feature length. But I think that having only seen the feature length version, it shows to me that it's excellent. What can I say that I haven't already said? Is there anything wrong with this film? Right? That's the main question. Is there anything wrong with this film? Yes, there is. There's something massively wrong with this film. What is our negative for this film? I don't like being overly negative, and I do seem like I love being overly positive, but I'm trying to create a middle ground. So the negative bit is at the very end, when a song is being played by Tom Basildon character who's like and fire's roaring. And Tim Key is sat next to the woman that he fancies in the film. And they're all like, yeah, baby, but nothing's going on in the sense of they're not singing along, he's just singing, right? But then you hear this noise, this other voice. And she's singing along. It's like, right, to me, when that happens in film and television, that signifies that in a second, they're going to come walking through, they're going to be like, and then the other person's going to look around and go, and then they're all happy, and then the credits roll and everyone's like, woo! Woo! What a great film! What a great film! Excellent! Bang it! Woo! Woo! Excellent! Yeah, great film! Great film! Play it again! Play it again! Rewind! But no, what you get is this. And then you get this. And he's still going. She's like. But she never walks out. So she's gone home earlier in the film. I thought she'd turn back round and come back round. So you get this aspect of, is she coming back? Is she gonna go out with him? You never find the result. My problem with this in general is why? If he was singing that on his own, yay! Excellent, brilliant, perfect. It'll be amazing. That would have been a perfect ending. But because he tried to do the recording where he's not singing it on his own, he's singing it with someone, that to me doesn't signify a happy ending. It's like, I'm a little bit annoyed, but I'm not in the end of the film, la la la. No! If you're going to lip sync to a recording of the song you've done earlier to make the film brilliant, you're not going to do it live, you're not going to be Matilda, you're not going to do this or the other, then don't get her involved. In the story, she's gone, you're sad, she's on the end. Unless I'm missing a metaphor here, unless I'm missing something on a deeper connection that makes this film, makes this bit, make sense. Unless I've missed something on that, then yeah, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. What are you going to say about it? If you look at Letterboxd, terrible name for an app, yeah, I'll give it a 9 out of 10 with a heart, with a button that says first time watch, with a link to this review on the Letterboxd, so that everyone can see this review, and so I don't have to explain that I'm not too sure about the ending. Right, it'll win 9 out of 10 BAFTAs, but the ending, someone's going to explain that to me, thank you. Right, he's playing the gig and finally, Tim Key's character's happy now. He's still not happy, but she's clocked on the audio. He's like, what? If you're there, fair enough. If you're not, no! That's why it's a 9 out of 10. Yeah. Or 4 out of 5. I don't think it's even out of 10. I think it's out of 5. It's 4 out of 5, yeah. Yeah, I'll use the Letterboxd scoring. 4 out of 5. But if I'm using a BAFTA measure out of 11, it's a 10 out of 11. Yeah. I can't give it full marks because of the ending. I really like credits where, before they go on to everyone's involved, when they get to the initial credits, that you're initially going to be watched before a lot of people walk off or not bother with them. I liked how it uses where it's like the gig continues and you can hear like, this song's all about love, this song's all about love, 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 love. And you can hear the rest of the gig going on. I really like that. She didn't get involved. Thank you. Because it makes no sense. She's gone home. But my question is, why would you go home without your boyfriend? If he came with her, why would she not wait until he's rocked up? He went off to look at puffins. So why did she not wait for him? He didn't need to be mean to Tom Baston's character either. So, no need to be horrible. I thought the film was heartwarming apart from the end. I thought the film was gentle apart from the end. But I really enjoyed the film. I think that it showcased what it's like to live in a small island in a small community, and what happens when you try and bring people together that don't really want to be together. I do think it's one of those films that if it gets a sequel, then I really will be annoyed. Because it doesn't deserve a sequel. Not that it doesn't deserve a sequel, it doesn't need a sequel. Certain films, I can name a few, It's a Wonderful Life, Shawshank Redemption, Saving Private Ryan, When Harry Met Sally, Yesterday, Uncle Buck, many other films don't need sequels. Don't need them, and shouldn't have them. So, what I quite liked about this was that it works as a standalone. Now, if it wants to spin off into a TV series further, or a web series, or something with Tim Keen's character, I'll be happy. Yes, that will work. But recreating the magic of that film will never happen again. But I do think that a really funny bit that I saw in the One Show, a clip I saw in the One Show when they were promoting it, is that they talk about this guitar that Tom Barriston's character had, and he went, "Could I get your paw print on that?" And that made me chuckle because he's got hands, not paws. I think that's the point of the joke. So overall, I thought the Ballad of Wallis Island was entertaining, enjoyable, and I just think it worked really well. And it was brilliant, lovely, feel good, and deserves all the praise it gets. So, that is my review of the Ballad of Wallis Island. Now, further on this web series, Take Two, the Film Club, we will be reviewing, eventually, the 2025 Smurf film. We did do a letterbox review, so we'll start off by reading out my letterbox review from the moment I finished it, but then I'll give my in-depth review of the Smurfs film in a future episode. But for now, thank you for watching my review of the Ballad of Wallis Island. Hopefully you enjoyed the film as much as I've done, and hopefully you'll enjoy the film forevermore. Thank you. Bye-bye.